Hello Viking friends everywhere. I am Suzy-Jane Tanner and I illustrate the World of Finse children's books written by Karine Hagen. My home is in London. The house is one of a pair built by two sea captains in 1840 to be near what were the important London docks. It suits us as there's a workshop for my husband Ken, a good-sized garden for London where I like to grow vegetables, and upstairs there is my studio. Let's take a look at how I work. My name is Suzy-Jane Tanner and I write and illustrate books for young children. I am really fortunate in that I've been able to make my living working as an illustrator since I left college. I have written and or illustrated over 100 books which have been translated into many languages. Most of them feature animals. In Britain there are bunnies and bears and Fred and Ursulina, who are also bears. In the States there's Tiny Flock Nursery School, which is all about sheep. And now I'm very happily drawing lots and lots of dogs for the Finse books. My first ruling principle is that there should be a touch of anarchy. While children's books should be informative and fun, children love a bit of naughtiness, so I try to sneak that in. As well as that, I try to include some visual jokes that might amuse the parents when they're reading the book for the umpteenth time. I love to travel, so was very intrigued when I heard about the World of Finse project. The idea came from the author, Karine Hagen, and I have really enjoyed working with her to develop the books. The World of Finse is based on Karine's beloved Labrador. Finse is the daughter of Lady Carnarvon's Bella and was born at Highclere Castle, so she had a fairly grand start in life. However, Finse is a very down-to-earth dog, sweet-natured and friendly, and not above getting very muddy when she has a chance to splash in a puddle. Finse is a Viking dog. She is named after the Finse Plateau in Norway, so it is quite appropriate that she should follow the Viking itineraries all over the world. I'll start with a sketch. There'll have been some roughs before this, but this is the sketch that I will have sort of done to discuss with Karine and decide on the text. So I enlarge it up to this, and then I trace it off, clean it up, transfer it to here, and then I paint it. And then when I've painted it, after I've painted it, I go and finish it again by adding some more coloured pencil. So I do that on the bamboo, for example. Finse's travels follow the Viking itinerary as the company would like to give their guests the opportunity to share their travels and adventures with their grandchildren and other young people. I was born in 1951 and grew up in London with my two brothers. We are only 4 years apart in age and had a great deal of freedom exploring the city as children, and an awful lot of fun when we were teenagers in the 60s. Perhaps a bit too much fun, and both my brothers tell me that they only got found out misbehaving when they were with me. I have always wanted to be an artist, and after school exams I was too young to start at art school in England, so I spent a year at an atelier in Paris, continuing my arts education and also improving my French. Needless to say, Paris was at least as much fun as London. I returned to study for 4 years at art colleges in London, graduating in 1972. After graduation, I worked for Disney for 4 years as a studio artist in the character merchandise department of the London headquarters. I then chose to work freelance and have done so ever since. I rented studio space at Barley Mow, a converted wallpaper factory near my home in West London, working on character merchandise and as a children's illustrator.
It was here that I met the sculptor Ken Gillam, who is now my husband, and we have been together for 42 years. Though we didn't get married for the first 20 and then snuck off and only told friends and family afterwards. In 1980, we went to California, Ken to work as a sculptor on the Epcot project for Walt Disney, while I illustrated 2 books for Celestial Arts' Dawn Lee in San Francisco. We were there for 18 months, then travelled through Mexico and spent 3 months in New York, before I received a big commission from Hodder & Stoughton and we returned to London. My ambition had always been to illustrate children's books, and while in the USA, I started to write my own texts as well. Since then, I have written and or illustrated around 150 books for children, first published in the UK, USA, Italy and South Korea, and translated into 15 languages. Titles include the Bunnies and Bears series for David Bennett Books, the Fred Nursulina and Nursery Elephant books for Random House, and the Tiny Flock and Festival Flap books for HarperCollins. I first met Karine and Finse in 2013, and since then we have worked together on 18 books. We were introduced by Cassandra Wilcox, copywriter at Viking, and met in a coffee shop in Fulham. We had an immediate rapport, sharing childhood love of the books of Beatrix Potter, which is why the books are in a similar format. The series started with Finse's puppyhood at Highclere Castle and followed with the river cruise destinations of Russia, China, Europe, France, Egypt, and Indochina. Ocean cruise introduced Finse to the USA, Italy, Scandinavia, and she is looking forward to visiting the Arctic and Antarctic on the fabulous expedition ships. She has even visited the International Space Station in Finse Explores the Planets. Finse enjoys learning and has studied world languages, world foods, world animals, and world plants. In addition, we have included the Finse of Downton Abbey series, co-authored by Lady Carnarvon and based around Finse's puppyhood home, Highclere Castle, where she learns good manners and how to prepare afternoon tea. I have also represented Viking at the Highclere Christmas Fair for several years, selling and signing books. Our beloved Finse has also become a very important part of my life, and I have had the great pleasure of doggy-sitting her many times, along with her lovely mother, Bella, and her handsome son, Charlie. I also had great fun helping Karine with 6 of Finse's pups, when the first 2 had gone to their forever homes in the USA. While I love dogs and all animals, I actually have always had cats, and now have 2 young felines, Mimosa and Domino, adopted as kittens from the Battersea Rescue Home. I have had the privilege of enjoying several research trips with Viking and being included in events including onboard book signings and children's activities for Viking.TV as part of the Viking family. I am speaking from the beautiful new ship Viking Venus, following her naming ceremony yesterday, and the latest Finse book, Finse Explores the World Animals, is dedicated to the Viking Venus godmother, Anne Diamond, who hosts the Thursdays on Viking.TV, and her darling dog Ellie, who I have drawn with Finse as mer puppies. I am now working on the 18th book in the series, Finse Explores World Plants, and there will be more books to follow as Finse is still exploring the world. The Finse books are for sale on board the river and ocean ships and online at the Highclere Castle gift shop. You can also share digital versions with your little ones on Viking.TV.